The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and event management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Greetings to our viewers and welcome to another session of The Girls Table. My name is Hlengiwe and I'm going to be your host for today. Now today we're talking about a topic that affects a lot of women around the world, body image. And joining me to talk about body image is Ta, Linda and Notanda. Welcome ladies to The Girls Table.
Thank you.
All right, so please introduce yourselves before we continue.
Hello viewers, my name is Linda. I'm self-employed.
And I'm Notando Chuma, I'm a teacher.
And my name is Tandegile Kumalo, aka the Mongolian Teletubby. I'm a plus size model, plus size stylist, plus size activist, and a designer.
Okay, so I can't wait to hear where Mongolian Teletubby comes from. But before we get to that, what does body image mean to each of you? We'll start with Linda.
For me, body image, we're looking at being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable in your body, and feeling sexually attractive in who you are, basically. For me, that's what it is.
For me, body image is how you see yourself mentally and physically.
Okay.
And for me, it's tolerating yourself, who you are, loving yourself just like the way you are.
Tolerating yourself, which I think a lot of us do. You just tolerate who you are. Okay, maybe let's start from personal experience. How do you guys feel about yourselves now?
I feel fabulous. It's been a long journey. I've hated myself for most of my childhood because I really couldn't accept how I was compared to how other kids looked like. And obviously growing up in a society where kids are opinionated, they will tease you and you will hate yourself. So it's all about going into your mental and telling yourself that I am enough, I am okay, I am thick, and I'm going to slay it.
All right. So where do you think as women we learn how to feel about our bodies? Because I don't think it's something that just comes internally and you start saying, I am his time. I think it comes from somewhere. Where do you think we get that image of ourselves that makes us feel about ourselves the way we do?
I think we get it from society. You know, when you're, especially us ladies, you're walking there, you're going probably to the shops, and someone goes, however they do it, that whistling thing, you know, then you think, okay, I suppose there's something about me. Then when you probably grow older and those whistles, they become few, then you think, okay, there's probably something wrong.
Something's wrong.
You know, those are some of the things that make you look into, like, introspect and wonder what's going on with me. Am I okay? Am I, you know, I think, yeah.
All right. So body image covers a lot of areas, not just the way you look. Yeah. Do you want to break that down for us a little?
I would say body image covers the skin, the way you present yourself, the hair, the dressing, everything in general as a woman. That's what body image is. When we look at, okay, I'll talk about myself. I'm small, and when you compare my age and the way I look, I would say this is body image.
Should we ask how old you are?
Don't. Please let's not go there.
Okay. All right. So I think I've heard you use the word fat.
Well,
let's talk about that a little bit. And I hear a lot of body positivity activists shun the word fat. What do you have to say about that?
Because fat is a word that is, I can say fat defines the fat mass in your
Yeah.
body. So it's been used in a derogatory term. So I think I was having this discussion with my other plus size friends. We were like, it's only okay for other izidudla to say, when we izidudla, you are fat, but not for a regular sized or normal sized person to come and say, hey, you are fat. That is really offensive. You can say plus size, of course, you can say big, but not big boned, you can play around.
There are so many logistics to
Exactly.
which word is socially acceptable. Talking about societal expectations, we won't talk America or any other place. We want to talk Zimbabwe and Bulawayo. What is the perfect body type in terms of what society expects of us?
Perfect body size usually will
Type.
be your body type.
Yeah.
Will be your Coca-Cola bottle shape.
Yes.
Your A shape. Those are the body types that we've been made to think that they're the perfect size. They're the perfect type. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So do we oh, you want to say something?
We've been conditioned that the hourglass figure, if you have the perfect boobs and the sizable amount of hips and the backside, you're the it girl.
So we're saying we've been conditioned, or saying society. Who is society? Is it other women? Is it men? Is it us putting pressure on us? Who is we? Who's this society that determines and defines our class shape or A? I didn't know about the A. I'm going to read up on that one. Who's this society?
I would say it's the men.
It's the
most of
men.
them.
It's
They're
their
the ones who
fault.
actually define us. They are the one who actually put us there and say, oh, that's the woman. That's the girl to go for. Actually, I remember one time, I want to go back to what Star was talking about. The women with the shapes and the hips and everything. Who says that? Meaning in Ghana, right, I actually feel bad, so I'm not the it woman of it.
Yeah.
So it's actually the men, most of them, they're the ones who actually push us to.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And I would also want to add that even the media, when you look at it, the media is male. So through the media, we have the fashion shows, we have the typical women that are married. They've got a certain shape, they've got a certain
In the
body type.
movies.
Yeah, you don't find some of us who are growing big, being in those fashion shows up until recently that we've had plus size. So yeah, I think that's society.
All right, maybe to talk to you specifically, you've been on both sides of the spectrum. How are you treated differently when you are smaller compared to when you then become larger than you usually are?
I think the problem, not necessarily the problem, but the challenge really is when you're in between, when you're growing from being slim to
Yeah.
big. Usually people will say, "Umithi yini? What's going on?" There always has to be circumstance. You can't just nona wedwa. There has to be something that's influencing unona kwakho. Yikumitha or umkhwenyana wena wedwa himself, you can't gain weight. So for me, that was my challenge really. People thought, they speculated pregnancy, they speculated a lot of things, and but I've pulled through, and now I'm comfortable with being being big. Yeah.
All right. So a lot of the times, the idea is slimmer women don't have body issues because, like, you have the perfect body type. Like, what's your problem? Do you agree with that?
I don't want to agree
You
with
don't,
you.
like, we don't get it because they're like skinny. Everybody wants you, and you're out here having body issues.
This is where we actually miss it. We
Yeah.
think everybody wants us.
Yeah.
We have challenges
Oh,
when you're slim and
yeah.
everyone is looking at you, and I'm like, that's a grade 7 student. I'm a teacher. I teach at a primary school. And can you imagine when I'm standing up front there and teaching the younger ones? Actually, they're of my size,
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah.
So I'm like, so I'm actually of this size. This is what people were talking about. And it's so boring.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a friend of mine who started taking, what do we call them? There's tablets. they're not even legal in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
It's called appetite because they wanted to look big, have that shape, or and everyone takes to they move it. So she's now big and all, and she's looking all good. It's not as nice as you guys think it is. I want to be as big as her. Tell you, I always complain. I want to grow big. I want to gain weight, but it's not happening.
I remember watching this movie and there was like a fat support group. Let me borrow the word fat. And there was like a skinny girl at the support group. And then everyone is looking at her like, what are you doing here? But now that you put it like that, we understand why also you'd need that kind of support. Let's talk about how all of this talk is affecting women internally. How does the talk about, people constantly commenting about your body, how does it affect just you as a woman?
Well, I'd say growing up, it would affect a young girl, maybe was about 9, 10. She's vulnerable. She hasn't built that mental wall where you can say, I can take this with a grain of salt. So she internalizes everything that she's told. Whereas if you are 20, 25, in your late 30s, you can say, whatever, I was like. But it really takes time. It takes you being true to yourself, getting naked and looking at the mirror and say, okay, I'm big here, I'm small here, I hate this and I like this and I'm accepting it. You need to talk to yourself and tell yourself, I hate this, I love this, but I accept myself. And it has to be a mantra. If you need to practice it every day before you go out, do it so that you become confident, as they say.
All right. I also want to hear from you. How does the constant idea of the perfect image affect the esteem and how women view themselves?
I think, personally for me, it comes back to clothing, really. When you've got, love handles, you're conscious of what you wear. And that really doesn't bring out self-confidence in you. You become self-conscious of, okay, can they see what's going on? Am I okay? Constantly you have to be pulling your dress down, you have to be, so yeah, those are some of the issues that we as women have to, unless if you, like she's saying, unless if you really are strong mentally, then you tell yourself, whatever, I'm okay.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to ask her. She says when you're 9 and you're 10, body issues can affect you because of self-esteem, but when you're 25 or 30, then you should be able to brush it off and move on. Is that true? Does this not affect even older women and adults, so to speak?
I would say it does affect them at the age of 25, but it's actually more difficult at a tender age. Because umntwana into ayizwayo emncane ukhula layo. That's where the dangerous part is. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I teach primary school children. The moment you tell them you are dull, ukhulela khona kyani. So at that tender age, that's where we're supposed to mold them, give them a sense of belonging. Where I'm saying, I'm big, I'm small, but this is who I am. I love myself like that. At the age of 25 years, I can say whatever. But not as
exactly
at a tender age.
But you guys,
because also to add on to a point, we end up being confused as women because trendsetters say the slimmer size is what's in fashion, the thicker girl is what's in fashion. So we tend to move from diet pills to these booty enhancers, these ties that are so where that extra booty. So we tend to seesaw between those two. We are so confused as a society and as women.
All right, so we've spoken about men affecting how we feel about ourselves. Maybe other women. I haven't heard you speak about the role that other women play in how another woman feels about themselves.
Well, to tell you the truth, women, we have this thing. I don't know how I can say it. We tend to hate on each other. Like we tend to hate on each other. When we are supposed to offer compliments, we don't offer compliments. When we're supposed to help each other, we don't help each other. So it's all about but we never really voice it out to other women.
Yeah. As we've heard, body image issues affect everybody, no matter how big or matter how small you are. But body image covers a lot of issues, not just size. So don't go anywhere because we'll be back just after a while.
The Cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Welcome back to the Girls Table, and we are still talking body image. Now, we've spoken about body size and being small and being big, but let's talk a little bit about light skin and dark skin, because we know that's another issue that affects a lot of women in our society. What do you think about this debate between light skin, boma yellow bonyana, liboma chocolate skin yan?
Well, personally, I would say I wish I was a little more darker. Because light-skinned women get a lot of flack.
Look at us, we're going.
We get a lot of flack because we're just like you girls. We have pigmentations, we have black knees and everything. And one day, I'll actually tell you a personal story. I was just coming from a town near Chova. Then I love shorts. So I was wearing shorts. Here I am minding my own business. Then there's two women. Like women, we kind of like like to gossip.
Go on.
We like to gossip about each other and throw in snide comments. And this other woman was like to her friend, "Isdudla lesi, kumele sibone ukuthi siyagcoba amadolo aso esikugcoba emzimbeni." And I was like, "Excuse me, woman, what are you saying?" Of course, I couldn't say that to her, but I was shocked. So that stuck to me because I was like, every time I would wear something short, I'd be like, "But my knees are dark," and people start to think that it's Ngcobi Dipros or anything. I started wearing long dresses, stopped wearing shorts because of that. So personally, I would say this colorism thing is overrated. We should just learn to accept each other the way we are, because what a light-skinned woman goes through is what a darker-skinned woman goes through.
Are you guys in agreement?
Well, maybe to a certain extent, I wouldn't know. But on my side, given that I'm dark, it wasn't really like a nice thing. But it later became better because people started saying, dark and beautiful, dark and beautiful.
Black beauty.
Yeah, But you'd play with other kids with, "Hey, lo mnyama kakhulu."
Really?
Yes. Lo mnyama kakhulu.
Well,
Nangaso
big, umam
angkhaya.
25.
Nangaso angkhaya. Hayi lo mnyama kakhulu. And that affected me for a while. But as people started saying beauty, it's when I started accepting, okay, so beautiful.
So do you guys agree that society prefers light-skinned people, the so-called yellow bones, compared to darker-skinned people?
It was like that kudala thing. Like I'll give an example of Skolo. Most of my friends were light-skinned and babelandelwa ngabafana kakhulu, and I was the dark one. I'm like, so uthi ukuthi vele umuntu obomvu ngiyomuhle. That's the mentality we're given. Ukuthi umuntu obomvu is the beautiful one, the gorgeous one. I'm like, wow. So, yeah, I would say that.
They are preferred.
They are preferred.
But you're saying Udala. How is it now?
I don't know about now, saying that most of people are now bleaching, but I'm still dark and lovely. Yes, I love myself like that.
Most people are bleaching.
They're
Okay, maybe
bleaching,
just to come back to you representing our fellow sisters, would you agree, though, that there's a certain privilege that comes with being lighter-skinned?
I wouldn't say there is a certain privilege because it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
When it comes to the fashion industry or the media, the brief may come out, we need a dark-skinned woman because she presents the essence of Africanism, she's African beauty. And then the lighter-skinned women, they tend to think we bleach, they tend to think we're fake. whereas it's just genetic. So I would say it's different folks with different.
Wait, in the white community, blondes are associated with a certain,
Class.
yeah.
Wow.
Does that happen? Do you think that happens with light skinned people where because you're light, like you're saying, there's a stereotype, which if you're light, then maybe you're not as sharp and you're just a slay queen, like a lot of people
Yes,
say?
yes. There's that stereotype that all she knows is just to look beautiful. Whereas she could be a copywriter like I am and do a lot of things, help the community and be as intellectual as those dark-skinned women.
All right, so you bring about the issue of bleaching. And I would like you guys to help me understand, what do you think goes on? I'm sure none of you do it, but what do you think goes on which motivates someone to want to change the color of their skin?
I think the pressure that comes maybe from friends and from relatives, maybe. Because at times you would find maybe you're standing with light-skinned people and you want to take a picture, then you'd hear things like, umnyama wena usozuphume picture. You know, those sort of comments. Some people are not like mentally strong, they're not, so they would take those things and they would feel like they're not wanted, they're not,
Do something
they
about
could
it.
change it.
Are we trivializing the fact that sometimes the pressure is self-instilled? Like no one has told you that you're not beautiful, but because you want to look like the next person, then you put pressure on yourself to then bleach. But no one has said you're ugly, or no one has said you're too dark. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yes. Because if you don't trust your mind and you don't trust how you look and you don't actually take some of what the society says about you and also instill some values in yourself, you would definitely be forced to just follow the trends and just bleach because you want to look like the celebrities, because you think that being light skinned attracts wealth, it attracts the right man, because you cannot work for your own coin, girl. But yeah.
All right. So I hear you, ladies. There's a recurring statement that I hear you saying: strong mind, mental strength. Like if your mind is not strong, then you're going to succumb to all these pressures. How then do we motivate, to encourage the young girls especially to have a strong mind? Like whose prerogative is it to teach our ladies and girls to have mental strength?
I would say it starts from within.
It starts from within.
Yeah. Accepting yourself as you are. I'm not dark and lovely. I have to love myself, tolerate myself, accept myself as I am, and then everything is smooth to go. That's it.
I think the other thing maybe is as we become parents, as we are friends, we telling each other that you're strong, you're beautiful, you're lovely, you're dark and you're,
Yes.
some of those compliments, they'll build on to, because the spoken word, it really builds something
Yeah.
in someone. Because I can't just wake up and tell myself, okay, I'm beautiful. I need confirmation as a person. You know what I mean? So you need someone to tell you. You need even your parents. It doesn't have to be someone outside from home. Even your parents, even your sisters. Or as we tell our sisters, you know what, umuhle, you're looking beautiful, uyangaphi.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things. They help build.
Let me be a devil's advocate and bring our mothers into the equation. How often do our mothers sit down with us from when we were kids and say, Yazin, you're beautiful and you're strong and you're confident? Do we hear that a lot from our African mothers?
I think the African society has been conditioned in the fact that women must be aloof. Not women as such, men and women, we must not be vulnerable with our feelings, because even when we argue, we don't really say, I'm sorry, you hurt my feelings. We just start talking again and everything is okay. So
Yeah.
growing up, I won't say I wasn't told I was beautiful, but my mother, rest her soul, she would say, kungaba ngcono nxa ungekela ukudla kakhulu. Kungaba ngcono if you could fit into that. But yeah, it was a way of her encouraging me to just watch
No,
what I eat.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You know what? I can relate to what you're saying. My mother used to say dumbuguru because of my tummy, and when you grow, you don't see it, but then when you grow up, then you start to be self-conscious. I want your comments on the role our mothers play in instilling the confidence that we need to be mentally strong.
I would say I'll relate to a story when I grew up, like ngizaphuma kancane, but my uncle usually said to me, you know what, no? Ungabuya umuntu esithi uyakuthanda, first ask him ukuthi uqedile yini uform 4. Engathi yes, Lawus, please wait for me until I finish form 4. In a way, he was actually saying, grow up and be somebody. I was raised by a grandmother and my uncle was there. So they used to give me advices that would build me. And I'm here today because of that. So I would say, Mina, on my part, they played a role of, Kulisa, Betty, do this, do that, yes. And this is where I am today because of that. So they played a role. Yes, they did.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that. Because, some of our mothers, they bring us up like they prepare us for marriage, sibancane. Hey, umuntu engaba ngumafukufuku uzathathwa mbani? Ungaba ngumafukufuku uzabalivila. Those kind of things. They say hurtful things at times in such a way that they prepare us like they're the male eye in
the male eye.
Yes, the male gaze in our growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we grow up thinking, okay, kumele ngizilungiselele umendo. I have to look a certain size. I have to look a certain way. Ngigqoke a certain way.
Because they're active in the house.
Exactly. So some of our parents, they still have that strong hand. Ukuthi woba ngumfazi. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Maybe just do you think guys encounter the same, like if you're dark and you're a guy, or if you're light and you're a guy, they face the same issues as women that we face as women? First, like the darker men are the ones that are like
Actually, like the lighter skinned women. It's like that.
It's like darker men like light
like the light skinned women, and we dark we like the light.
Really?
But
You know what?
Yeah.
Usually it's about ukupenda abantwana.
Oh.
That's the talk.
Yes,
You find dark guys saying, okay, ngifuna onganubomva.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you find the light skinned ladies saying, okay, lobe dark, it's okay, mina ngizapenda abantwana. That's usually talk that's thrown around like in community.
So how do we change this? Is it changeable? Like, is it possible? Because I was listening to a story by Gabrielle Union. She had a baby recently. She says when relatives come to see her, or family or friends, whatever, they open like the head of the baby to see whether the baby has dark ears or not. Because the hands will tell you whether the baby will be dark or the baby will be light. So these are like generations of socialization and, stereotyping really that is happening. Is it possible to change all of that, to say everyone is the same no matter what color you are?
Yes, I think it's possible to change that. It goes unto us people as the community, and also Notando as the educator, to have maybe a guidance and counseling section in the content section of the primary school where we talk about autism and body types and messages. If they grow with it, we wouldn't shade each other, we wouldn't body shame or color each other in any form as we grow.
I know a lot of us can relate to the things that the ladies are saying. So if you want to hear more, do come back when we have this break. Welcome back to the Girls Table, and we are winding down our conversation on body image. And we can't run away from the role that the media plays when it comes to how women feel about themselves. Social media specifically. Now, just last week, I saw a tweet about a gentleman that had accompanied his friend to pay lobola, and he was saying because the girl has no butt or breasts, he was discouraging his friend from marrying this girl. What do you guys have to say about this?
People have a lot to say, and people will always talk. Like I remember there was this challenge where people were talking about shoe size, and someone would be like, "Satbonani boba babe kaya what?" And then when you get to the guys that wear small size, they'll be like, "Wopu it's and then they'll come to the girls and they'll say, "Salibonani bo mama what." Then when they get to us who wear size 8, and they'll be like, "It's unfit." You know, those are some of the things that we go through with social media. Those funny challenges that we see with social media. At times it might not be deliberate, but you know, some of us we
gets
feel
to you,
it gets to us. And in terms of being confident, you know, also you're like, oh my word, who's
Yeah, it's
looking?
amazing.
You know, those are some of the things that really get to us in terms of social
media. What has your experience been with the stuff that people post out there on social media?
Well, I would say that in terms of relationship goals, couple goals, when we look at Instagram, it's rare for you to actually see a hunk with a plus size woman, like a heavily size 20 or size 22. It's always this petite women, because these women are the it women, and us the big girls, we're like, you know, the last preference is Ibinje. I want to learn how to pay to cates, but I will do that. You know, just do it for the culture.
All right, so I want you to respond to the tweet that I spoke about specifically, the issue of the bosom and your behind. And do men really segregate and choose women depending on whether they have these assets? They call them assets in secular terms. Do you agree?
Kuthiwa yilivitikazi.
Yes.
NgesiNdebele bathi yilivitikazi. Umfazi olakho konke. And kubuhlungu because most of the guys are now actually, they're doing that.
Yeah.
They actually look at that. They don't look at the heart of the person, look at the outside part of the person. We were saying, she's everything and all. But it doesn't have to be like that, because we are all women, we're all equal, we're all beautiful with our different body shapes and everything. So it doesn't have to be like that. We have to be accepted as we are. Love me as I am. Pay low walla for me, yes. As small as I am. Yes.
So what percentage of blame are we putting on social media, on the media in general, in terms of pushing these perceptions that are affecting women around the world?
I'd give it 90%.
90%?
Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where, for some of us probably who were not allowed to go out at night for fashion shows, we only see those things on TV. And if we run with what we see on TV, on newspapers, where you have your Sunday leisure queen, she's, you know, she's flat, she's
everything.
And yeah, that's where we get these images of what's a perfect woman, what she's supposed to look like, what size she's supposed to be, a size 0 to 2. You, for anything from 3 upwards, you're in the wrong league.
All right, let's talk filters. Let's talk Photoshop. Do you think these are a thing, especially in our community? And how do we use it as Africans, as Abantu Bagobulawayo? Do we use as much filters and Photoshop? Because we know in the first world or in the developed world, there's a lot of Photoshop going there and filtering and making you look lighter than you look. I mean, Lupita once had an argument with a magazine that put her picture on a cover, and she's like, I don't look like this, I'm darker than this. Is this a thing that's going on in our community?
I think it is definitely going on. It's real. It's there. We see it, and I think some of us practice it. But
do you use filters?
I don't.
You don't use filters? No Snapchat, Nyana?
Not at all. Like, I actually hate social media.
You hate social media?
I low-key hate it. I'm not even active on WhatsApp. Even my friends are like, why you go WhatsApp here? Boy, because I feel like if you subscribe a lot into social media, your life would end up just going sideways. But basically, I think filters, people use them just for fun and all that, because professionally speaking, photo shoot wise, the camera adds 10 kgs to your original size. For you to actually look angled, it would need some precise technology. And for the people that really know you, what would they say? And you need to ask yourself, what message are you trying to put across? If you want to put across being fake and being fun. Of course, you will be size 2 when I'm a size 18. But if you want to be real, you'll be like, let's run with what I have.
I'm hoping you guys have a different opinion from her when it comes to filters and Photoshop. Do you guys think people are using those a lot? And what are your thoughts on those?
The unfortunate part is it's us, the black people, actually run with that.
Yeah.
We actually love it a lot because I've discovered I'll take us back. We don't appreciate ourselves as we are. I would want to look like Olivia Pope, so I would actually do anything for that. I don't do snapshots and whatever. But the thing is, most of the young ones of our generation and other people's, and they actually use that.
Yeah,
They actually
a lot.
love it. They want to look so on point, different from who they are.
Yeah.
And playing you tomorrow, I'll be seeing you, this
Yeah.
beautiful light and all of that. That's how we are.
Okay, here's the thing. Coming to you, is plastic surgery, changing the way you look at things in our community? Is it a thing in our community? And I hear a lot of people say, rather I use a filter than going to the extent of lightening my skin or doing anything surgical to alter the way that I look.
Honestly speaking, I think if people had money, I think they'll be doing it.
Oh, that's last sentence.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Yes, probably. I think honestly, if they had money, because I remember this other day, I was in this Nigerian shop. This lady comes in. I was a customer as well. She comes in. She whispers to me, "Do you know the guy who sells, I don't know, some funny soap? I've forgotten the name." And I was like, "Sorry, I've never heard of it." Then I asked this lady who works there, and I was like, this lady is asking for a fan. And then she was like, "Ungakhulumeli phezulu." I thought it was some ordinary soap that
soap.
everyone can use, So I think honestly, if there was more that people could do, or if they had more money, people would be doing it.
All right, so I think above everything, the idea is to inspire and to encourage other women to be confident in whatever size, in whatever color. So from your personal experiences, how can people get to your level of confidence and self-acceptance? Now, we don't want anything cliche. We don't want to say, just be strong, because if we could be strong, we would do it. So using your experience, how then can people reach a level of high self-esteem and confidence and acceptance of who they are, no matter what size or shape or color?
I would say, speak to yourself. Write it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere and read it every day and speak to the inner person and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm fabulous, I'm lovely. That's what I would say to the young girl out there.
All right.
I think I would say be real with yourself. If you feel like you hate your body at that point in time, you feel like you need to cry. Like when I was coming here, it was so hot. I was like, oh my God, I can't. I hate being fat. I wish I was thin. I was just trying to keep it together. So you have to reaffirm yourself with negatives as well. Be true to yourself.
Okay, and then, there's this misconception Uguti's confidence and high self-esteem is a constant. Like for you to reach, you have to be confident each and every day. Is that possible? Because I strive for something that saying pretty hurts, so that he also faces a lot of body image issues. So I would like you to speak to that, to say, fine, you might feel some way today, it's okay, but tomorrow try to feel a certain or different way about that.
Yes, tomorrow try to feel a certain way, try to feel better, just strive to be better. But if you can't, we are human, we are supposed to feel. So if you just can't get yourself out of that rut, you just need to, I think, build a support system. Like my sister said, that we have people that affirm you, you're beautiful, you look beautiful. Not friends who are like, but just no, we just need to be positive within each other and just help each other.
Well, what do you think people need to do on their journey to self-acceptance and confidence?
I would say zithand. Njengomntwana mama, just love yourself. Find the road is not easy, like Star was saying, but it's all about loving herself. Star loving herself, accepting who she is. then the journey will be smooth.
The journey will be
Yes.
smooth.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies, for coming through. And I mean, we haven't exhausted, like, this is the tip of the iceberg, because body image issues are so broad. And so, I mean, we haven't spoken about hair, let alone skin, like amapundu, guten. Those are so many issues. So we're hoping we'll have you back again to talk a little bit more about the other issues that we haven't managed to speak about today.
I'd definitely love to come back.
Thank you so much to our viewers for tuning into this segment of the Girls Table Talk. Now, the conversation is not yet over. We'll continue to discuss issues affecting every woman in our community. But for today, it's a wrap. Let's meet again next time.